dogs got the questions, digging so sharp, peeling back layers, hitting the heart. Shute podcast, blowing your mind. Every topic.
How are things? Where are you now? Where are you?
I'm in Shaolin, aka Staten Island. I'm in the man cave, also known as Hoarder Gear Hole, also known as the Dharma Lab.
Oh, okay. Is that where you recorded this newest album?
Some of it mainly I recorded at Super Giraffe Sound, Ivan Julian's spot in Dumbo.
And who did you have guests? You must have had guests on this album because it sounds like there's so many different sounds. And I'm thinking this is not just all you that made this. You must have.
No. I'd played with the band Burnt Sugar, which is Greg Tate's band. A bunch of live things. There's a great, DJ Logic played on this record. Different vocalists. Yeah, there were different guests.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because I was like, wow, there's so many different. Now, how do you get all the spoken word things? Is it hard to get the rights for that? Because it sounds like you took snippets of different movies or TV shows or speeches.
No, there's some stuff is in the public domain. Other things were found. And yes, and some of the stuff was licensed. It's like licensed, like in Black Fathom 5. That's all it has, like licensed, like sampling CDs, like licensed audio snippets from movies.
Okay, because that one sounds like it's almost like a beat poetry kind of. Is that you just speak? It's like a spoken.
Oh no, that's Beans. That's the rapper he's got. I mean, he talks incredibly fast. That's Beans. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Beans. There are two rappers on this. Nironic is on Good Afternoon Everyone, and Beans is on Black Fathom 5.
Okay, yeah, I think the Good Afternoon Everyone that definitely had some spoken word.
Yeah, I recorded that. I literally recorded that person in the subway, in the New York City subway. Yeah, yeah, it was amazing because he just was good afternoon. He was incredibly polite. And he said the same sequence. Good afternoon, everyone. Can anyone help me with something to eat today? Good afternoon, everyone. Can anyone help me with something to eat today? Yeah. And what was so amazing about it was that he was so well spoken, and his rage was completely tightly controlled. I felt that, but he also stayed unfailingly polite.
So you did, but you sensed a rage.
Oh yeah, if there's anyone who's not ungrateful for what they have in their life, could help me with something to eat today. That's one of the phrases that he throws in. If there's anyone who's not ungrateful for what they have in their life, that can help me with something to eat today. Good afternoon, everyone.
Do you think he was suffering from mental health issues or drug issues or just poverty?
I think he didn't seem crazy to me. He wasn't wild-eyed. He was very focused. And don't doubt that he wasn't suffering some form of trauma, but I didn't get certainly didn't get the idea of drugs from this person.
Interesting. Yeah, New York is it's an amazing place. So many interesting people. I didn't get to explore. When I went, I was just in the main Manhattan. I didn't get to go to like all the, we got to like the Brooklyn Bridge. That was about as far as but I didn't go to Brooklyn or Staten Island or all those other suburbs.
Oh yeah, man. You got to hey man, best pizza in, Staten Island. We'll claim it. There's an ongoing fight about who makes the best pizza. Staten Island will win.
Really?
Even though I am a Brooklynite, so.
Okay. Yeah, I need to explore. It's just such a fascinating area. I mean, I'm from Seattle originally, but there's so much more history on the East Coast. Like some of those places have been there for, we went to some bar that George Washington drank at, which I was like, that's great.
Was it Francis Tavern? Was it Francis Tavern?
It was the one where it was like the ground was like sawdust or something. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. I know that there is Francis Tavern is the oldest it's the oldest bar or the oldest continuously operating restaurant in the States, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And that goes back to Revolutionary War times.
yeah, it's crazy to see on that East Coast. Like I said, Seattle. I mean, we got history. We have like an underground city, and that stuff's fascinating too. But yeah, the East Coast, it's like a whole. And I've never been to Europe and all. The world, there's so much crazy history. I find that.
I like how you toss up underground city, just like, oh, it's an underground city. It's like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Well, do you
You
know,
know?
yeah, like what's happened with Seattle is the city burned down, and so instead of tearing it down and rebuilding it, they just built a new city on top of the old one. It's really bizarre. So the old stuff
That
is
is,
you can go underground and see it. I don't know if you've ever done that.
I have not. I have to do that the next time. We're gonna be Living Color. We're gonna be there in September. I would love to see the underground city. I always go to the market, to the
Pike Place.
Pike
Yeah,
Place. Yeah,
yeah. I saw you guys. I'm in Phoenix now, and I saw you guys open for Extreme, and I that's why when I saw your name come up that you were doing press, I was like, oh, I got to get you on the show because
oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
you guys killed it at that show. I mean, and no offense to Extreme, they put on an A+ show, but you guys are like A++++. Like I was blown away at how good you guys sounded.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, hey man, Nuno is Nuno, but we did have a good show that day. We did have a good show.
Yeah, you feel the emotion. You guys just you're clicking on all cylinders. I think did you do a Prince song or you did some covers?
Yes, we
that
did.
were-
We did nothing compares to you.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and then the solos and stuff. I mean, it blew me away. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, right on, man. Right on.
Yeah, I was a fan before, but then now I'm like more, diehard. I think I want to see you do a head. Are you going to be doing a headlining tour? Is that the next?
Yeah, I would like to think. Yeah, man, we're thinking about it. Thinking about bands that we could go with, and yeah, we're talking about it.
Oh, really? Okay, so which bands do you think you would go with?
Can't talk about that just yet.
Okay.
We're still talking about it.
What
But
about
yeah.
a new record for Living Color?
Yeah, we're in the writing process. We started writing. We started for a few months now. We're in the writing process. Got
Oh,
a few things.
that's exciting. Yeah. I mean, I love this new solo stuff too. This seems like it's like you just had so much fun making it. Like I bet you just had because you could do whatever you want. It's your record. You don't have to worry about compromising with band members.
Yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I enjoyed working with Ivan Julian, who was the engineer, and I credit him as a co-producer because he's a legend in his own right. He played with Richard Hell and the Voidoids, and he's just a great engineer as well as great guitar player. And then I also worked with Scotty Hard, who mixed the album, and Mike Tucci, who mastered it. We were a really good team.
Yeah. Did you have a vision of how that whole album would be? Is it because it seems to be more eclectic? Like you kind of were
It
like,
is
there's
very
no
eclectic.
rules.
It is very eclectic. I did want it to be from tune to tune. I mean, it moves all over the place, but there is connective tissue going through it. There's a connective feeling going through the album. Even with the fact that it is, I admit, it's all over the place. And part of that is, what was great was working with our mix engineer. He helped to pull things together and deal with edits and things like that. Like certain tunes, he even shortened them, and they just fit better because they kind of got to their point, just faster than if instead of like there being four solos, okay, let's just have two, like that, stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you put this all together. Like the song "Dying to Live," it's
Yeah.
slowed down. It's a kind of a sad, emotional song with a great solo. And it's almost has a calming vibe, but then it kind of ends stressful, if that makes sense. That's what I
Yeah.
was getting from it.
Well, yeah, man. Well, that's a great Edgar Winter song, and it's a tune that I've always.
Oh, that's a cover. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's a song I've always loved. "Dying to Live" is a cover, and unfortunately, the singer of that song, passed away. I recorded it a while back, and recorded a while back, and then I found it, and resurrected it, and then put new drums, new guitar, new bass, and but I kept one thing, and that's the DJ Logic does this whole kind of almost like whale sounds, and it gives it a quality I didn't even realize how much, because when we did one of the early mixes, we took it out, and then it kind of didn't work. It just felt weird. And we put the the whale sounds back in, and there's a feeling of mourning, even though it's non-human, that really helps to frame the words and the lyrics. And it's kind of like this non-linear thing that you think, well, what is that? But it having lived with it, now it couldn't be on the record without it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was. It almost sounds like a puppy wailing or something. Like it was
Yeah,
it was a very interesting sound.
yeah. It's kind of funny, man. I just reread Moby Dick. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I tell you, if you want to learn about whaling, Moby Dick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever read that book. I'm surprised they didn't make a movie of that, or maybe they
They
did.
did. They did make a movie with
Okay.
Gregory Peck. They did make a movie with Gregory Peck, but, but, but after reading it, it's kind of it's a long, long book. It's absolutely, it's something James Cameron should have made Moby Dick after Titanic,
Hmm.
because it's an incredibly dramatic story, and it's really about man seeking revenge from nature. Like in seeking and it's about the cost of seeking revenge. It's about the cost of what are you willing to sacrifice to seek revenge?
That's
And
interesting. How do you feel about that? For your wisdom of over life, do you think revenge is worth seeking? Because I feel like the older I get, the less revengeful I feel. Like I feel
I
like
think
it's
I
let
think I,
people.
I think accountability. I think accountability and justice over revenge. Accountability, you know, like anybody that's been wrong has the right to tell their story. They have the right to tell their story without interruption, without the no, like this is what happened to you, and yeah, revenge is they say if you want to seek revenge, make sure to break to make sure to dig two graves, instead of one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think accountability, revenge is, I think it's re-traumatizing. Seeking revenge on a certain level brings you never get away from the ill feeling. It's firing. Revenge is what's firing the ill feeling. That's why they say revenge is a dish best served cold, without emotion. It's a I don't know, man. The other thing too is if you're seeking revenge, you should know for certain, for certain, that the one you're seeking revenge against was fully cognizant of what they were doing. Like they did this thing they went out of their way to do this to you, as opposed to a mistake, an accident, a miscommunication, and like the like saying I'm gonna get revenge. You should know all the facts before you go that far. You should know all of them, and you should know them cold. You should know them without your anger, because you're
Right.
angry because that something went down that you didn't like, so you're angry about it. But just being angry about it, you know what? It's like somebody cuts you off when you're driving. You don't know that they have to get somewhere, or they've got a sick person in the car, or it could be anything, or they could be having a medical emergency, or So before we assume that they decided to mess with you, but before it becomes an incident, now you're just reacting. You might need to know a little bit more. Anyway, blah blah blah.
Yeah. No, it's a fascinating topic. I always think of that song. I mean, because your newest song, "The Haunting," I mean, that's about you looking back and looking back on your
Yeah,
life and procrastination and regret and those kinds of things, right?
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, because it's procrastination is one thing, but it is about regret. It's also about being haunted. The haunting. See, I named it the haunting because we're fascinated with ghosts and like that. So okay, I don't know about that, but I do know I don't know about the supernatural. I do know you could be haunted by missing the last shot of your championship basketball game. You could be haunted about the car accident that you caused, right? You can be haunted about a missed opportunity, about you should have returned that email. You should have opened that envelope. You should have returned that phone call. You could be haunted. And I think in every life there is something. It can be small, it can be major, and it can run your life. It
That's
can
interesting because when I look at you, I go, wow, this guy has done it all. He's won Grammys. He's played with Mick Jagger and Janet Jackson and BB King and Santana and all. Your career and your life that I could see is amazing. Is there something?
Yeah.
Is this a
And
career?
it is amazing, and and thankful for. No, I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
But there are things that I messed up. There are things I messed up with people. There are things that opportunities that I missed because I didn't. I mean, I'm a human being. I have made my mistakes. I fortunately have not made the kind of mistakes. There are mistakes and there are mistakes, and there are all caps mistakes. And I feel very fortunate that I haven't made the all caps mistakes. I recently got back together with a friend of mine who I thought that I'd lost. Hey, babe, I'm on a Zoom. You know,
Oh, that's great. I love to hear those kind of stories.
and but it was so interesting that we had a period of not talking to each other for a number of years, and we ran into each other, and it was over. I mean, it was the thing that kind of it was over. They were over it, and I felt bad for years. And then we started communicating, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic to communicate with this person again.
How did
And
you
so
do that? Was it just running into the person? I mean, do you think something had changed, just time had healed it?
I think time. I actually do believe that it was time. And then, things you did when you were much younger, you know, things you did when you were much younger, or you were in a different circumstance. Fortunately, if you're lucky, you could talk about it again, because we are also ghosts to people, right? People talk about ghosting, like the
Hmm.
lost friend, the lost partner in business, the lost team, the person that you just something went down. You thought they said a lot of times, you know, people make their decision, and that's how they live their life. That's how they protect themselves. And maybe it wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe it's something else. I mean, if you care about people, see, the thing is, if you don't care about people, there's no problem. There's no problem. You
Right.
don't care. If you don't care about people, then then there's no problem to speak of. And there are many people that don't care about people. So what I'm talking about is not relevant to them. I'm talking about people that actually have feelings, or actually think about right and wrong, or feel. whether it was done to them or whether they did it, or they were suspected of doing it. And that's the haunting is about. It's kind of about procrastination, but it's about those kind of regrets, that I think come across in many lives. Not just going to say all lives, but in many lives. People are messed up by things. I remember they had this film, The Greatest Generation, right? It was about World War II. And there was a veteran. There was a veteran, and he shot a German soldier. He shot a German soldier, and he was a kid. He realized he shot someone. He was a kid, and he shot a kid. He's 19, and he shot someone that was like 19 or 20. And it was part of his mission. And in fact, he got the drop on him before the soldier could react. He shot him, and he was still grief. They were interviewing him, and he was still grief stricken over it. And fortunately, things that dramatic don't happen to most lives. But I mean, I think a lot of people, I mean, that's what reality TV is for, So,
Well, yeah. I mean, you're right. There's people that I feel like I'm in that category of people who care about. I mean, I care not only about my friends and family, but just complete strangers. I worry about everybody. I want everyone to be happy, and so yeah. And then you just try to figure out like, well, what can I do? I think for you, it's like just doing music. I think heals the world. I think music brings people together. I think it can change opinions. It can change mood for sure. And I mean, with this album, it's just amazing what you've done. The emotion that I can feel listening to it.
well, thank you so much. I mean, it's a lot of this, like I said, a lot of this record is because my friend Greg Tate passed away in December 7th, 2021, and it was one of the events that shifted the making of this album for me. It changed the meaning of it. It changed the meaning of it, and I mean, he's a person I'm grateful for knowing and loving, and he's just a really good friend to me. And I've lost certain other people. I made some dedications to different people, and the great guitarist, Ronnie Drayton passed during the making of this record. Um,
Well, what
Gail
about
Williams, yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, you have the song Meditation on the Last Time I
I
saw
saw
Arthur Rames. I mean, that's another one that I mean, gone way too soon. And
way too soon. What a brilliant musician, and mostly unknown. Known to maybe there are 1,000 people who know. Who remember him from it's a small amount of people that that saw him play the saxophone. Forget about played the guitar. Heard him play the saxophone or heard him play piano. He just was a singular person. And one great lesson I learned from experiencing Arthur Rames and knowing Arthur Rames was life is fundamentally unfair. It's fundamentally unfair, and that the greatest, the best, the most wonderful designers, they for a lot of those folks go unknown, and like Franz Kafka, right? Franz Kafka, Max Broder, his best friend, when Franz Kafka was on his deathbed, he asked his friend to burn all his writings, and Max Broder didn't do it
why did he want him to burn it? I don't get it.
because he was miserable. He was not he died he was not famous in his lifetime.
Oh,
He didn't make any. He didn't. I don't think he published anything. He didn't make anything. He was not. I mean, Franz Kafka redefined literature. His writing redefined literature, but not in his lifetime.
hmm.
In his lifetime, he was broke, and only like his best friend said, "Man, his friend knew that his friend was a genius." So I think it's incredible that you make your friend promise to, because you're depressed and you're done with it. You make a friend promise to burn everything, and then you can't do it.
Hmm.
So you think about betrayal, right? When you think about betrayal, we always think about betrayal in one light, right? There's a certain light, and it's that light that oftentimes leads to revenge, betrayal. But Max Broder gave a gift to the world by betraying his friend. There's always a different way. There's always another way to look at a circumstance.
That is so interesting. It's interesting for me to see what's popular with people. You know what I mean? And you probably have an opinion on this because Living Color. I mean, obviously you've reached success. You've won Grammys. You've toured with amazing art. But then there might be a part of you that thinks you guys should have been bigger too, right?
Sure. We should have, would have, could have, and the should have, would have, could have, like could have been bigger, could have been more famous, more hit songs. So I'm talking to you, right? Here's something that's crazy, that is a pointless fact. I was born in 1958. I was born in 1958. Michael Jackson, myself, Michael Jackson, Prince, and Sharon Stone were all born in 1958. Now, the world will never forget Michael Jackson, ever, ever, right? They'll never forget Prince, ever. Not possible. Now, in time, and I hope it's no time soon, uh, I'm not the most famous dude to ever pick up the guitar. But the thing is, we're talking, I'm here. For whatever reason, was born the same year as those dudes. And you got to ask yourself, well, what would you rather be? Would you rather be incredibly famous and rich? But here's the thing, you're gonna die before your 60th birthday,
Hmm.
right? Somebody comes to tell you and says you're gonna be the most famous, incredible. Your writing is going. You're gonna be wow. They tell you at 40, you're gonna be all the cars. You're gonna have all the things. Here's the problem though. You're gonna have everything. The world is coming to your doorstep. The thing is, you have to leave at 59. They tell you that at 40. Or you could go behind door number two. Door number one, you get to be the ultimate, you get to be the grand poobah of everything. 59, you're out. Behind door number two, you don't get to be all that famous. You get a little something. You're not gonna be that. You're not gonna be, but we don't know when your expiration date is. You're gonna keep living, right? I don't know what's behind door number three.
Yeah.
And I say, you know what, I'm happy with all my, of course, I have my moments, but my daughter graduated college in May, and Michael didn't get to see his daughter graduate college. Prince didn't get to Prince, unfortunately, he should have had a harem and had a bunch of kids, But um, I saw my daughter get her diploma. I wouldn't trade anything that they had for that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you wonder too, like that even the time that they were here, were they happy? Because it seems like if you dive into it, they may have been suffering. I know Prince, I think he was in extreme pain. That's why he was,
He's in extreme pain, right? Yeah, he
yeah,
couldn't. Yeah, he was in extreme pain, and and there's some religious issue with him getting a blood transfusion, and
right.
all of those things. Anyway, um, uh, maybe one more question about the album, and then I think I have to go.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hear you. One more question.
Yeah.
Gosh, let's see. Well, there's so many great. What about the song? Let's see, we talked about Dying to Live. Whoa, what was the second single? Beautiful Bastard. That is
Beautiful
cool.
Bastard.
I think that might be my favorite solo. How do you
Oh yeah,
get into that mood to do that? And I feel the emotion. How do you get into
yeah.
that mode?
Well, it's so funny because part of it was playing the melody. There's a little bit of the melody in the solo. And then, I had a placeholder solo for a while and didn't like it at all. And I vowed that I was gonna change it. And the song is it's subtle, it's very much in a kind of classic doomed, it's a kind of doomed love song. And it's about duplicity, it's about passion, it's about what happens when someone who is wholly unsuitable, you can't get away from who they are. You can't get away from it. Like the first line is, beautiful bastard, am I your slave this time or am I your master? What are we doing today? What is it? You know, I start to run faster, right? I've got to leave you alone. But I think of your face and I'm frozen in place. And it's very romantic, but it's not at all happy. It's very, it's about recognizing, it's recognizing that there are people you should never meet. There really are. There are people, there's whatever gender you're attracted to, but there's a woman that will have you behind the wheel of the getaway car. Like, I absolutely believe it. There are people, there are people that are fabulous to meet, you're destined to meet, and there are people, and I'm not, and I'm not talking about the hardcore, the horrible. There are people you should never meet at that bar. You should never, your eyes should never meet. Because when that happens, all bets are off. And
I think we've all had a girl like that in
I absolutely had. I actually had a particular. I had a particular woman in mind when I wrote the song,
Mm.
and it was not good. Fabulous, not good. And fortunately, it didn't end the the way the song ends. But it was. I can honestly say meeting my second wife was the only way I broke the spell.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, and you got a great song out of it. The whole album is great. It's going to be out in October, I believe, and there's two songs
October
out right
3rd.
now. Yeah, two of the
Yeah.
songs are out now. People can listen to
Yep.
that. Follow you on social media and Spotify and all that stuff, or however they listen.
Yep. Vert22 on Instagram, on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. On Blue Sky, on Threads, Vernon Reid on Facebook. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait to. And you won't be touring solo music, but with Living Color, you'll
Well,
be.
I'm gonna do like individual shows when I can.
Okay.
I have a show at the Blue Note on the 24th of September, but of course, my focus is Living Color. So
Sure.
anytime I can do something with the Hoodoo Telemetry project, I'm happy. I'm look forward to it. But my focus is Living Color first and foremost.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day.
Hey man, have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye bye.
Topic, one of a kind. From the rockers to the wise men.